Hi guys, I hope you guys didn't miss me too much, but yeah, the good thing is that I never stop thinking about putting stuff out there for you all to see. So today I don't want to get too long into the introduction, so you know the right thing to do. Hit the subscribe button, like, and absolutely comment. That's like my favorite part of the videos. So basically, when I was growing up, which I think applies to everyone born in the like 80s, 90s, and even the early 2000s. Growing up as a child, you always have that thing in you that you're always optimistic, you're so hopeful, you have so much faith, and you have such a huge faith. You believe so much, not just in your parents, but also in the God that your parents have introduced to you. And that was one of the most beautiful things ever. But then as you grow older, you start realizing that, look, life is tough. Things are not exactly happening the way that you sometimes arrange for them to happen. And you know, there are delays and there are denials and there are rejections. And then you lose faith and say, oh, I'm no longer, and people even say, oh, I'm not an optimist, I'm a pessimist. Now I want to tell you something, yeah? Like, in all of us, for a lot of things to happen for us, we need to remind ourselves to bring out that childlike nature in us, that nature in us that was always optimistic. People now want to change that term to manifestation. But if you remember very clearly, that's exactly what you were doing when you were a kid. You literally like proclaimed whatever you wanted, you manifested it, you prayed it into existence, and you absolutely believed. So why can't we get back to reminding our adult self that that child in us that believed, that child in us that had so much faith, that child in us that manifested a lot of things that we wanted when we were little, and even if we didn't get it, we kept on believing that if we don't get it this Christmas, we're going to get it the next Christmas. If we don't get it this Easter, we're going to get it the next Easter. Why can't we remind ourselves to bring out that same childlike in us? Because if you look at it technically, in almost every religion, yeah, a child is being portrayed as a very innocent person who has the purest of hearts, can do no wrong, and absolutely can call forth things into their lives because of that innocence and that purity. And that is what we should remind ourselves to do as adults. Now, I've been talking to a few people, and I actually particularly spoke to somebody, and the person was like, you know what, you have your life in order, like everything is going the way you want it to go. And I'm like, but how do you know though? Like, and that is a lot of things that a lot of people sitting behind their phones or their keypads or their phone screens or whatever, watching other people's lives, and they're like, oh, this person has his life so perfect. This is the same reason why people decide to cheat other people or to kill other people or to rob other people, because they feel that those people are doing much more better than them, because you don't know their backstory. Now, another thing also to look at is that some people also do share their backstory. But the thing is, with this generation, a lot of people are so good at complaining. Now, there's a difference between complaining and there's a difference between sharing your situation with somebody. When you complain, you're looking for free shit. You're looking for handouts. When you share your situation with somebody, it's because you believe that that person can tell you words of wisdom, can encourage you, can push you to do better. But people in this generation are actually sleeping. In as much as everybody feels like, oh, I'm woke, people are not woke. Actually, people are falling more asleep or are more asleep than before. Because just because you find a new term to tag something that is so wrong, to make it look presentable and acceptable, doesn't make it exactly right or doesn't make it exactly workable. So I believe that we've come to that point where as young people no longer want to work hard to get what they want, or will I say young people do work hard to get what they want, but young people don't want to source out encouragement. A lot of young people just want handouts. Hey, I deserve this and I should get this. Hey, I'm complaining because I'm this and this and that. Where is the part where you are only sharing and sourcing out for encouragement, for advice? Like, yeah, you can share your experiences or your situation with someone and they could choose to help you, or even if they can't literally help you with anything materialistic or your situation, but they could give you a piece of advice or a shoulder to lean on that can change your whole situation. So we have to learn to not always complain. And that is I feel personally that is the reason why when it comes to politics, older people are kind of like getting the edge over younger people. Why? Because older people are used to not complaining and just trying to get their way, to have things happen for them. Younger people meanwhile love to complain about everything, and they literally want everything to be so easy and to be so handed out to them. Now, when a younger person gets into power, what I see is going to happen is a younger person is going to say, oh, I want power. When he or she gets power, you start to complain about your subordinates, you start to complain about people. And then, but the older people, when they get into power, they do not complain. That is why they don't ask for anybody's opinion or advice. What they do is they make their own decisions by themselves. They have people where they share their burdens to, but then at the end of the day, those people tend to give them whatever advice that they get from them. And I think that they use the fact that young people or people of this generation are always complaining to also use it against people that are younger in the society to make them suffer the most, because they feel like, since you're complaining and you want handouts, let's make your life more difficult, because you're not sharing your situation. You just want to complain and say how bad people are and how horrible things are. And it's something to really sit down and think about. I just felt that I should give a reawakening call to, not just myself, but people around me, and, like to the world and to anybody listening to this. Like, you are young, you are brave, you are strong, you can still choose to be like the childlike person you are, and believe and have faith and trust and hope and and pray. Or you can just sit down and remain your adult self, who doesn't have faith, who is scared, who complains, who wants handouts, and who cannot even withstand any kind of stress at all. So which of these options do you think suits you best? Which of these options do you think will favor you along the line? Because we probably wouldn't have a lot of examples to leave for our children to emulate, and that is not going to be very good for us at all, because the world is changing so rapidly. Our children are learning a lot of things, and right now the world depends on the good part, or the best part of the world depends on the knowledge and that precious tradition that you're being able to pass across from generation to generation. And are you deciding to wake up from that sleep for real and preserve that generation, that generational tradition? Or are you choosing to remain asleep and tell yourself that you're awoken? So these are certain things to sit down and think about. And if you're having a terrible time, don't always sit down and be complaining. No, look for people you can talk to, you can count on. Be absolutely optimistic, have faith, pray, believe that it will come to you no matter how long it takes, and just keep on going. Don't complain. Don't look for handouts. Don't look for, nothing in life is ever going to be easy, but you can make your situation much more easier by handling it in the best way possible. And that's why I just felt like I should share this with you. And I've not been around in a while, and I hope you enjoy this part of it. Just look for a pattern for you to connect and resonate with yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, and you will see that it's going to reduce the level of drama and the level of stress that you go through in life. I'm not saying it's going to remove those things out of it. It's just going to give you a wiser way of handling it, and it's going to give you an easier way of being able to approach life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to hear your opinions in the comment section below. I mean, tell me what you think about this topic, this video, and I would just like to know what you think. Show me how wise you are in the comment section below. But until next time, guys, thank you for listening. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, like, and comment. Commenting is a mandatory. All right, guys, thank you very much, and bye. Mwah.